What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So, yeah, let's talk about it. A bit of a topic of discussion is, as many of you will know, coming up on the 14th of November, which will be a Friday. You'll have Jake Paul taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in a kind of exhibition slash quote unquote real fight. The rules have come out for it. That it's 195 pound max. That's apparently the maximum weight. It is a circus of a fight because Gervonta Tank Davis is a lightweight, so he's a 135 pounder. He's fought at 140 pounds maybe once, I think it is, and it's going to be over 10 3-minute rounds, and it's going to be with 12-ounce gloves, so the bigger gloves, the type of gloves that you'd probably do your training in. Most people do about 14-ounce. So yeah, you get the bigger gloves, and apparently, although it's a bit of a circus, there's going to be three judges, and there is going to be a winner announced at the end of this bout. So the 10 threes, and that's kind of the rules there. You got three judges, 12-ounce gloves, 195 pounds being the weight limit. It is a circus. I mean, Jake Paul's been sort of clowning Gervonta Davis, saying that he can't read and saying that he can't talk, and Davis has been basically saying, "Well, you're the one that talks, blah blah blah," and yeah, it's been when you look at the press conferences, Gervonta Davis has had a very sort of nonchalant attitude. He hasn't taken well to the fair criticism by the press, because there's been a lot of people who have criticized him and said, "Well, why are you taking this over the Lamont Roach rematch? Why are we ever going to see you in there with anyone decent like a Shakur Stevenson?" And he's going into one and saying, yeah, basically he's claiming that he's like Floyd, and people see him too much and then they don't appreciate him, and people should just basically shut up and be fans. They shouldn't criticize what he's doing as boxing fans. They should just enjoy what he's doing and just be fans, and all this nonsense he was talking. And yeah, I mean, to me personally, I think it's one of those things where you've just got to really call a spade, and his with Gervonta Davis, to his credit, he's going for the money here, but from a boxing standpoint, if you're a real boxing fan, you're going to be disappointed with his career, because he's a boxer that has shown a lot of talent, a lot of promise, but from several years ago, they avoided Vasily Lomachenko, and then tried to get Vasily Lomachenko, like, I don't know, about a year or so ago. And his career has avoided all the best guys available. He's avoided guys like Devin Haney when Devin Haney was champ, guys like Teofimo Lopez. And I know George Kambosos wasn't particularly great, but George Kambosos at one time was unified champ, and they didn't even go for him. So he's been a guy that's content to win a belt and just avoid all the best challengers, all the best champions out there, and just now he's going into this fight, which is basically just a sort of crash out fight. And it was very hypocritical the way it was going on, because it was going on as if the boxing fans are supposed to just be grateful for the fact that he's in this joke fight, and grateful for what he does, and he brings excitement. But it's like, yeah, you bring excitement in fights where you're always the favorite. You're always the favored one to win. You don't take risks. You don't face the best of the best. You just face handpicked opposition. I mean, Roach was a champion, but he was a champion from a lighter division who they brought up. So it's not quite the same thing as fighting a champion in your division when there's loads of them there. But anyway, yeah, so his career is a disappointment. And he was on Twitter moaning about boxing, and this is what he said. I'll read his tweet on X, should I say. And he said, boxing definitely did a turn. It went from this side to that side, and this ish has no loyalty, so why would I care? I move accordingly. Boxing is dead. So according to him, boxing is dead. He does his own thing. He does what he wants to do, which, to be fair, is fair enough. But I would say don't then go around saying you're the best and all this stuff, and you're about the fans if you're just gonna sort of make these type of moves. And yeah, one of the fans, a guy called E at E305, he said, "Well, please retire then." And Gervonta Davis replied to that post on X by saying, "I am in 8 weeks." So according to this tweet or this X or whatever you call it, Gervonta Davis says he is going to retire in 8 weeks. So it looks like this Jake Paul thing is just going to be kind of a cash out for him, a cash grab where he gets the most amount of money and then retires. And I, for one, I've enjoyed some of his career, but I think, yeah, towards this latter part of his career, it's just all been sort of handpicked, and he's got some results, but at the end of the day, it's all been, handpicked. He's avoided the best guys. So for me, I'm quite happy for him to retire, because it's like if he doesn't retire, he's just going to hang around, sort of handpicking all his opponents. He's going to avoid the best available opposition. So I don't see the point. And by his attitude during the press conferences, he seemed to be a guy that doesn't really love boxing. He seemed to be a guy that's just there to get a big paycheck. And to be fair to him, if that's how he feels, which is, he doesn't seem the most, complicated guy out there. So he seems to sort of, the way he comes across seems to be genuinely the way he is. I don't think he's hiding anything. And the way he comes across is that I don't really care. I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. He took the knee against Roach for their hair gel thing. So yeah, he definitely seems like a guy that his heart is not in boxing at all. He's got one foot out the door. So I think probably the best thing for him to do is to retire. So for me, congratulations to him. He's going to make an awful lot of money. He's going to make more money than, basically any of his peers, probably all of his peers put together in just this one circus fight against Jake Paul. So it's a sensible move for him to do that. I mean, I would love for him to have stuck around and fought the best at lightweight or at super lightweight or whatever, but he clearly has no desire to do that. So because he has no desire to do that, then fair enough. Let him go off and retire. At least, unless something crazy happens, he's gonna go out of this sport undefeated, champ world titles in a few divisions. So he's got a respectable career. He's got a respectable career there. So yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on Tank Davis. It will be a circus. But it's going to be seen by a lot of people on Netflix, for including subscription. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll watch it live, but I think I'll definitely watch the highlights just out of pure curiosity to sort of see what happens. But let me know your thoughts on this. Tank Davis says he will retire in 8 weeks. So he retires after the Jake Paul fight. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. And until next time, MKO Boxing, over and out.